Welcome to yet another episode of the Off the Dome Show, featuring your very own Thomas Brown Jr. as one of our co-hosts on today's show. Now, today, I don't even know how else to frame it. If you watched it, we have a whole lot to break down. Last night was the great show that was the first round of the 2024 NFL draft. We'll get into that. We'll also talk about the playoff series in the NBA between the Timberwolves and the Suns and how that's gone so far and what our thoughts are with that. And I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna just hop right into it, man. I'm gonna hop right into it. How else can I say this? How else can I say this, man? This was definitely a draft that has been relatively notable for quite some time. I don't think there's been a draft in the past couple years that's been as entertaining for as long as this specific first round was. I mean, maybe it depends on specific teams during these the last couple drafts, but in terms of intrigue from start to practically the finish, it does not get much better than what we saw last night. And I took some notes down. I took some notes down as we're going through this thing. But I can't address the draft alone, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very special guest joining the show, one of Team MBS's very own, covering all of Minnesota's teams, Timberwolves, Vikings, you name it, he's covering it. He'll talk about it a lot more than you think. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Steve Rogers. How you doing, man?
How's it going, guys? What's up?
How we doing? Welcome
Checking
to the
in
show.
live from the car today on the go.
That's all right, man. That's all right. So we're starting everything off with our thoughts and reaction towards the NFL draft last night, round one. Oh man. I don't even know where I could start. Like I said, I took notes on it. Let's start with the biggest shocker, which was, before we get to your Vikings, Michael Penix getting drafted to Atlanta at 8. What were your thoughts when you saw that appear on your screen? Because I could not believe it.
Well, at first I was there was some shock and some kind of wonderment and disbelief of why on earth are they doing that and why, you know. But as soon as that subsided, it was utter adulation, because it was just like a guarantee now that the quarterback we actually wanted was right in our lap now, and we didn't almost have to do anything to get him. So, I mean, last night could not have been a better perfect storm of purple, in my opinion. And also, because of the Falcons helping us out the way they did, I don't know. I guess, was that their way of trying to make up for tampering? I guess I don't know. Anyway, beside that, yeah, to the Vikings, they pulled off the absolute home run of all the home runs, I think, last night. Even the teams that had multiple or ended up having multiple picks, the Vikings did the best job. Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, having 1 and 9, you can't miss with those, and if you do, you're gonna look really bad. So Chicago had all the pressure to nail both of those picks in the top 10. You got to get those right.
Okay.
So that's a given. You got to come correct there. We already knew that. But Minnesota getting JJ McCarthy at 10 and Dallas Turner at 17, who many are projected was a top 7, top 10 talent. So
Yep.
essentially what you do with that is Vikings draft moves last night, just swap them. We got Dallas Turner at 10 and JJ McCarthy at 17. And it's a perfect value. We hit absolute grand slam. We hit the Anthony Edwards dunk of the decade for the draft last night.
I know. I know you couldn't help yourself with that pun. Well done, sir. So that was a, because that was the thing for me. I didn't really know what to make of JJ being picked up by y'all, by Minnesota at 10, because of the fact that y'all traded up one spot to get him. I thought that the Jets were going to go tackle anyways, as they did, which is why, in my personal opinion, I thought that y'all were going to be fine at 11.
It wasn't the Jets move that had us worried. It was the Broncos and the Raiders that were threatening to take the Jets pick to get McCarthy.
Okay, so and I was thinking about that as well. So I was kind of like trying to figure out, okay, how are we really going to do this here? What does that really
It was
look
slightly
like?
confusing as, wait, why move up one spot? Why not just let the Jets take their pick? Because we know the Jets aren't taking a quarterback. We should have hoped the Jets weren't taking a quarterback.
Right.
So, yeah, as it was kind of a weird situation, but I get it when you understand that you had Peyton looming behind us, chomping at the bit to get a quarterback. You got the Raiders who need a quarterback, and they were willing to move up to get one. So I get why we did what we did, how we did, and I think it was a Kwesi Adofo-Mensah deserves the GM of the Year award with the chess moves he made last night. And watch out, they might just take another swing into the second round today for yet another move, just because they've been doing so well.
Okay, so you have a trade coming. Is that what you're foreseeing here?
Possibly.
A trade in the second round? Okay.
There is some buzz still around, and Kwesi was interviewed by Paul Allen last night during the draft, and he said that he was going to get some rest, but he was going to get up early tomorrow, and there might be some more work to be done.
Okay. All right. I like
the
it.
window is open.
Okay. So so like I said, the McCarthy move, I understood. I was aware that they needed a quarterback that was gonna that was something that was desperately needed from them. And then on top of that, knowing that you, like you mentioned, having the Broncos and the Raiders of the world that were going to try to go after that spot in particular was kind of crazy. I'm very curious as what was going on in that Jets war room in terms of, as far as the calls are concerned, because I could imagine there was like 5,000 teams that was calling them at the same time trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Yeah. So I mean, they decided to choose with the Vikings. The Vikings got their guy. And I don't know how else I could say this. I think if we're talking about the winners of the draft, we have to talk about a Vikings. I think we have to talk about what's going on, Christy. How we doing? We have to talk about a Vikings. We have to talk about a Bears team. And look, I
Oh yeah, Rome Odunze with Caleb Williams and Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. They are stacked and loaded and ready to make a move here in the NFC North. Chicago is definitely putting themselves in a position that I didn't think I saw them having a year or so ago. So they're flipping the script there in Chicago.
Oh, please don't get this one started. Don't get this one started. We're doing this already. All right. They got them coming out the north, so they're winning the division apparently after one
I
round of the
can't
draft.
declare anyone winning the NFC North. The NFC North is this. It's the dogfight of the NFL now. That is the division to be just a murderer's row now. Come to the NFC North, you want to get beaten and bruised. It's going to be ugly.
Like, oh, Christy,
the Lions are legit. The Bears are coming.
Thank you.
The Vikings aren't going anywhere, and the Packers might not be going anywhere. It's loaded here.
No. Yes. So I'm not. Look, just won't start nothing, won't be nothing. Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett. Seriously, is that what we're doing right now? Is that what we're doing right now? You know what? I'm not even going to tolerate this because there's so many other things that we have to discuss that is much more worthy of our time here. So I will not go there. However, I would be dismissed if I did not talk about the lovely Buffalo Bills, who I think carry the biggest L out of everyone in this draft, because I'm gonna need my megaphone for this one. Bills, y'all haven't learned your lesson yet? You would have thought that trading with Kansas City was a bad idea the last time that y'all traded with them, because it caused them to get Patrick Mahomes. But apparently we didn't learn our lesson, because we did it all over again at one of the last picks of the draft last night of the first round, where the Bills took it upon themselves to trade with Kansas City again, just for Kansas City to get, and I'm not even joking, the fastest wide receiver in the draft, as if
in combine history. Combine history. The whole thing.
Kansas City needs it. As if Kansas City needs it. What are we doing? And then it gets worse. You think, okay, they're going to swap with Kansas City. They're going to have pick 32. They're going to get a receiver. That's fine. Then we finally get to pick 32. Carolina trades with them. So now they start off second round with Carolina getting a weapon. Now, granted, at first, I thought for sure there was going to be a Keon Coleman showing. I thought for sure there was going to be, with all the wide receivers, I thought that Keon Coleman at that spot would have been nice for what they're trying to build in Carolina. They end up getting Xavier Legette, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yo, Buffalo, what the hell is going on? Stephon Diggs is gone. Gabe Davis is in Jacksonville. Like who is Josh Allen throwing to? The fans in Buffalo?
And himself at this point. It's just a Josh Allen show. They're gonna run the ball to Josh Allen. He's gonna hand off to himself. He's gonna throw to himself.
Oh my God.
Well, they still have a tight end, don't they?
Yeah, they have two. I guess that's fair. You do have Kincaid and Dawson Knox, but still, like, what are we
They're just going to run a bunch of 12. They're just going to run a bunch of 12.
I see. I see. And I ain't going to lie. When I saw that, I was like, all right, well, we know what's going on over here. And that's
them in Atlanta have apparently the same kind of demo. They don't have a clue what they're doing.
Okay.
Just to circle back to Atlanta. Atlanta is doing so bad at this draft thing. This whole tampering thing that they might get settled next year, they might just give Atlanta the pick just because Atlanta doesn't deserve it because they don't know what they're doing with picking.
Now, here is what I'm hearing, what I've been seeing lately since the Penix selection. Apparently,
watch Kirk Cousins wants to trade.
Right. Cousins wasn't informed about the selection, number one.
No, he got Aaron Rodgers blindsided. He was about to sit down to his whiskey and had to go get the tequila. Like, wait, they did what?
Yeah. He
was set to get another weapon toy to play with, a wide receiver or something, and they said quarterback.
Right. So
the older quarterback too.
So that's the thing too. So
they're gonna sit the older quarterback 2-3 years behind Cousins, so he'll be 27 on his rookie season. That sounds like a great plan.
Sounds like Jordan Love to me. Anyways, but so Cousins wasn't informed.
What does Penix think about that plan?
I think Penix is. If I'm in Penix's position, I'm genuinely like, this must mean something. This must mean that I'm gonna have my time shortly than people expect, because I think what this pick also shows is that this is, even though we did sign him to a very lucrative contract yet again, because that's what Kirk Cousins contracts are these days. This is a guy that just came off of a torn Achilles. He's not young. He's not getting any younger. And what this selection also shows is that we don't think he'll be ready by the time the season starts. We may not see him until the middle of the season. And because of that, we have to take a shot here, even though it may be unpopular, and take a Penix just so we could have a Band-Aid until Cousins gets there. The problem is
well, isn't that already on the roster? Isn't his name Ritter?
Stop it. Stop. Don't do that.
I didn't say it was a good option. I just said it was there.
Yeah. No, I just.
I mean, so was Tyler Heineke, but you
know. I don't know what to truly make of it, because it's almost as if no communication was had, no set timeline was put in place on Cousins' injury and his progress so far. There has been no plan in place on what we're going to do now, because usually even if you make the choice of getting a quarterback, knowing that there's a starter there, there's usually a plan in place. Even though nobody liked the Jordan Love selection back in 2020, at least some of the fan base understood why. Because Aaron Rodgers, for the last 2 years beforehand, was talking about how much he wanted to retire and get the hell up out of Green Bay. So because of that, Green Bay's front office was like, well, hell, okay. Well, since you want to do that, that's fine. We'll just get somebody in place of you. Now, I'm aware you want us, you got an MVP, you got us to, to the playoffs multiple times. I'm aware of all of that, but you're talking about leaving. We need to figure out what to do in the manner that you do decide to leave. So there was a lot of people that didn't understand the Jordan Love pick, but at least there was a plan in place. I don't understand what the hell the plan is in Atlanta right now. I don't.
I don't think Atlanta knows what the plan in Atlanta is. There was video last night after the pick of management explaining the pick to the owner. Isn't the owner like approving the picks before they happen? Not getting explained to him after?
You would think. And so, and like I said, it's so confusing with what's going on in Atlanta. But I wouldn't even. If I had to grade that selection, can I just give it a question mark? Because I'm like, I don't know what to do.
It's so unknown, you can't grade it.
Yeah, I can't. I can't, even if I try.
How can you? It is so out of far of like whatever you. There's when is there going to be a time? When are you going to find out when or where they're going to play Penix or like? How can you grade that? Like they're
Yeah.
they're locked at Kirk Cousins. That $100 million is there. It's done. It's gone.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know.
I guess they're just smoking money down there in the ATL. I don't know.
It's possible. It's possible.
Wow.
It's very possible. Um, we have some other selections. The one that I was puzzled about that a lot of people are kind of bypassing, and I guess is Malik Neighbors going to the Giants. I
Another
could
key
have
into helping
sworn,
JJ land in Minnesota.
yeah, I could have sworn with all the talks, all the conversations leading up to the draft.
Apparently, it was just smoke. They didn't need a quarterback after all. They're going to ride with Daniel Jones at least one more year.
So what was told after the selection last night was that it was Drake May or bust. The problem was that Drake May was obviously going to be taken third by New England. What a surprise. Everybody knew that. So
well, guess what?
when
If
we
New
get
England was actually willing to sell, he was still going third to Minnesota.
okay, so Drake May was going to be gone regardless. That was just going to be it. End of story. And when I saw that, it was like, okay, they're going to get Malik Neighbors. I said, oh, so now y'all want to get a weapon for a Daniel Jones, a guy who is still recovering from injury, by the way. Y'all deciding to get him a weapon. Got it. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out. I guess the Giants are trying to do their best to solidify that Daniel Jones is still a starting quarterback, because that's basically what he is. A starting quarterback in the NFL. And they're trying to solidify his contract, but let's be real, man. We know who's good and who's not. Daniel Jones is not that. Okay. Let's not do this to ourselves, please. Please. He's not it. He's not it. And the Giants are at it again. What's your
I
thoughts,
mean, I
Steve?
still got him ahead of the Trey Lance and Zach Wilson and Jimmy Garoppolo's of the world. So there's that.
I guess.
Is he a franchise quarterback? No, he's not.
That's what I'm saying. That's how they're making it out to be, though. Like he is exactly that he's going to be the basically the Eli Manning of the Giants 2.0. Look, just cuz they look alike doesn't mean they're the same. At least Eli Manning had the talent. You may not have liked him from year to year, but at least Eli Manning was going to give you something. It may have not always been pretty, but he gave you something. Okay. What do you see in Daniel Jones?
I would defer in the fact that they may not look like each other, because Daniel Jones clearly has more leg athletic ability.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So they are different, but I get that, yeah, neither one is really going to wow and jump off the page as to that was the guy.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the Giants are able to do going forward. I thought that was a questionable move, given that there was a Michael Penix there, given that there was a Bo Nix there if you had to reach, given that there was a JJ McCarthy there if you had to reach, like the many of opportunities you had to get someone to kind of escape out of that Daniel Jones contract, out of him being a part of the Giants offense that when he was on the field was quite abysmal. Let's not act like that didn't exist last year. That was definitely the case. You have all those things, and look, man, maybe they see something that I don't, and that's fine, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. before we get into some of my notes here from last night's draft, I gotta bring in my lovely buddy, the guy who was repping the show last night on the 2024 NFL Draft Reaction Show from Team MBS himself, Brock Vieira. How are you doing, sir? How are you? Oh, did we miss him? Oh,
there he is.
All right. There he is. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, gentlemen? How you guys doing this morning?
How you guys doing? How's it
I'm
going?
doing pretty good. Just have to, do things on the fly.
Yes,
good. Doing things on the fly out here, and
it's cool. It's cool. So, I was purposely going to leave your lovely Chargers alone, but since your Chargers are here, yeah, I know that's sunshine
in
right
Hawaii. Where you're at, sir.
Yeah, it's that sunshine in Hawaii, baby. I'm trying to tell you, it's a beautiful place. I love it.
Yeah, beautiful day, man. Beautiful day.
Oh, I believe it. I was gonna leave your lovely Chargers alone, but I couldn't help it now that you're here. You had an issue on the chat in regards to them selecting Joe Alt at tackle for the Chargers. Why is that? And what were your thoughts on the selection, man?
I've had 24 hours to kind of digest it, and I feel a lot better about it. And, mostly just Greg Rector saying that I hate the pick because he's a Notre Dame guy, he's completely wrong. I love Joe Alt as a prospect. I had him as my number one graded tackle on the board. I think he's going to be a stud in the NFL as a left tackle, but I have massive concerns of moving a guy that plays primarily on the left to the right. That happened one time in my recent memory. That was two times actually. That happened great, which was Tristan Wirfs, of course, in Tampa. Then they moved him back to the left, and then obviously Penei Sewell in Detroit. But we've also seen multiple cases of moving guys from the left to the right and failing. Most notably, recently was Evan Neal with the New York Giants, and I don't like that. I think that if a guy plays left tackle, he's a left tackle, and if a guy plays right tackle, he's a right tackle. The way that you have to change up your footwork and your play in the game, it's a drastic move that can lead to a lot of issues. And if you're going to spend the 5th overall pick on that, I think it's a bit of a gamble. With that being said, you had a dynamic playmaker right there, Malik Neighbors, or even a solid pass catcher in Rome Odunze that was available to help supplement an offense that needs it. And I keep hearing people say, oh, but what about protecting Herbert? Two things. One, Trey Pipkins had an above-average season last year, and Herbert was getting hurt because we had pressure at the middle because our all-pro center, Corey Linsley, had to medically retire. Secondly, if we're going to take a right tackle, I got no problem with that. But at the number 5 overall pick, especially having 6 first-round quarterbacks, don't tell me that the Chargers didn't have an offer to trade back and just have a whole host of picks. I'm sure there must have been discussions between, especially Minnesota, right? Because they had 2 first rounders, 11 and 23. That you could have easily gotten multiple first rounders and selected a solid right tackle prospect, whether that's J.C. Latham or Talise Fuaga. Fuaga was my guy that I really wanted, or even if you want to take a chance on a guy like Mims. I don't know. I just felt like it's a huge gamble on a guy for a position that he's never played, and we're just banking that he kind of figures it out as we go. And then we also again have no weapons at the receiver position. We got Quentin Johnston, who's a clear career wide receiver too, if he develops into being a good wide receiver. We have Darius proving that he can be a true wide receiver 1 yet, and people keep pick that allows a team like the Chargers to go and have one of those 11-play, 8-minute drives, running the ball, and that's how you beat the Chiefs late in the 4th quarter. But that's also implying that we have the firepower to keep up with the Chiefs, who just reloaded last night with a dynamic playmaker like Xavier Worthy. So I'll admit I'm not too happy about it, but at the same time, Joe Alt is a monster of a man, and 10 at minimum 10-year career ahead of him, multiple All Pros, potentially could be one of the best right tackles in the league. And if this is the direction we're going, I say let's buy all into it. There's a lot of Chargers fans right now that are like, okay, well, let's take a receiver with this our second round pick, and I disagree. I think that if we get a guy like Johnny. Let's load up our defensive line. If we're gonna kill the line of scrimmage, just kill the line of scrimmage, and then build everything out, build all the weapons out in the future. So I'm not too happy about it, but after 24 hours, I'm not too sad about it either.
Good job, Brock. You know what? Everybody give a round of applause for Brock, man. This man went through his own therapy session on his own. He got some much needed rest in that Hawaiian weather, and he reconsidered everything. Well done, Brock. I like the maturity arc for you, my man. I really do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't opposed to the pick. I thought it made sense. I mean, I think the reason why, Herbert couldn't stay upright was literally exactly in that sense within itself. He couldn't stay upright because he kept getting hit last year, which caused him to be hurt and be out for a couple of games. And I don't think you can afford to go through that again. But like you said, I think you brought up a great point about having to have that switch from left to right. I will also say that maybe if you really wanted to, say, you wanted to test your hand and moving Slater over to the right side and seeing how that could factor in, that could maybe be something that you could, throw in there, to help make sure that both are able to get on the field, while also giving that same amount of protection. How Harbaugh is able to dial that up, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think that within itself would pose as a very big puzzle piece for the Chargers going into the season. But I would be remiss, ladies and gentlemen, if I did not discuss my lovely Philadelphia Eagles getting it done again. Howie, you've done it again, man. You've done it again, because everybody and their grandmother saw how terrible we was at corner last year, how cooked we were at corner last year, how abused we were at corner last year, how much of an embarrassment it was to see Darius Slay and James Bradbury, especially James Bradbury, in coverage last year. We saw all of it. It all transpired right before our very eyes. And we got arguably the best corner in the draft in Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. And I love it. Shout out to Howie. Howie has done it again. It's so good. I have to give a round of applause twice. I do. And to put a cherry on top, Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys, the team that all season long has been talking about going all in. They've been talking about going all in all year long. Haven't figured out what the hell they're going to pay Dak. Haven't figured out what the hell they're going to pay CD. They haven't figured out what the hell they're going to play Micah. All these different issues they got going on. Free agency sucked. Then you get to the draft, and it comes time for their selection. They trade with Detroit. Detroit Lions gets their pick, and Detroit Lions gets Teron Arnold out of Alabama. Another one of the best corners in the draft. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. to see that domino effect was probably the icing on the cake to what was probably the most entertaining draft I've seen in quite some time. And you know what? It wouldn't have happened without Howie Roseman and the Eagles making their selection at corner. So, Steve, your thoughts on the demise of the Dallas Cowboys yet again? On seeing the run of corners towards the end of the draft, what's your thoughts, man?
Dallas continues to show and prove that they will always be just that. They are going to be Dallas, and they're going to do what Dallas does, and they're going to do Dallas things, and that is just things that the rest of the world just goes, huh, what do you think they were really thinking? This is their all-in approach? No, I'm pretty sure. I think I've figured out. I'm seeing through the reading between the lines of their disguise and message. They're all in on just raking in as many dollars as possible. They're all in on the franchising and the merchandising and what they can recoup financially themselves before they have to actually at the very last minute go on such a spending spree and feel like they're emptying their pockets. They want to line their pockets first. That's what they're doing, and they're just putting on a facade that they're concerned about championships and titles. They're not concerned about that at all. They're actually in a secret way trying to find a way to lower their payroll without actually making it known to the world.
I love it.
I guess. Beautiful. I don't know.
I love it. Oh, I do know. I do know. It's great. It's beautiful. I love every second.
It's got to taste pretty sweet over there in Philly.
Oh, man! I tell you, no greater feeling. There's nothing like it. Oh, I love it. I love it. All in
like a true, authentic Philly cheesesteak.
Oh my goodness, Brock! We saw the run of corners late in the draft, man. And it all started with Philly getting Quinyon Mitchell, and it all ended off with the Lions trading up with Dallas to get Arnold. What were your thoughts on that run of corners towards the end?
And also shout out to the Detroit GMs for having stellar abilities yet again in the draft. The Detroit continues to kill it as an organization right now. They have flipped the switch.
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead, absolutely. And for Philadelphia and Detroit, the reason why they were able to do what they were able to do and pick up Mitchell and then obviously Terrion Arnold is because they could use that their first round pick as essentially a luxury pick because they don't have many holes on their team, so they really could do a BPA or best player available. Quinyon Mitchell is an absolute stud. I mean, when you talk about having a player that plays with incredible anticipation, they will play man and zone, has great jump on the ball, I just has a chip on his shoulder. That's like perfect fit for Philadelphia. And Terrion Arnold, off the field, he's very respectful, well-spoken, and a delight to listen to. And on the field, he is a delight to watch. I mean, he is going to do incredible things in Detroit, especially in the fact that he doesn't have to play against the elements except for like 2 in conference or in division road games a year, right? And if they play those games early, it really doesn't matter. So I think both had a great landing spot. And then when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, obviously I understand why they went and got Tyler Guyton. There's a clear need that they needed a left tackle because even though they have Tyler Smith, he's a really good left tackle, but an all-pro caliber guard. And when you talk about the money, there's 5 major positions in terms of cap hits and payrolls in the NFL. Quarterback, wide receiver, corner, edge rusher, and left tackle, right? And if you have to pay all those positions, you don't have money for anything else or money to extend. So by being able to pick up a guy like Guyton, you have your left tackle under a rookie contract, which allows you to kind of stretch your money a little bit here and there to be able to get those extensions to Dak, to CD, to Micah, right? Because you already gave Trayvon $100 million. So Trayvon Diggs $100 million. So I get why they did it from their perspective, but I feel like the Lions and the Eagles took massive jumps up in their ability to contend for a Super Bowl, and I feel like the Cowboys essentially remain the same. And that's not a knock against Guyton. I think Guyton could be a very good player. I think there's a bit of question marks regarding his game and how that will translate to the pros. But in the same time, left tackle isn't your major concern at the moment. The major concerns revolve around the players that are already on the team. And no matter what they did in the draft, that wasn't going to get resolved on day one. So though I don't think it was a bad day for the Dallas Cowboys, it really provided zero clarity on where they're going in the future. And quite frankly, nothing will until we see them step on the field in 2024.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll continue relishing in the wonderful joy that is Howie Roseman and his draft selections, because there were some times where Howie has made certain draft selections that weren't leaving me in such great spirits. How about
which one?
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. How about Jalen Reagor? Okay.
As well, I know. I know.
So
I know.
Woo! Oh,
Don't even get me started with Nelson Aguilar. Alligator hands.
Okay.
No. No, I'm not gonna let you trash Nelson, because Nelson helped you guys win a Super Bowl.
Okay, fine.
Nelson went downhill.
You want him to have a cookie for 1 year when we had you high enough for him to be a factor in the offense for the remaining of the contract? We couldn't even get past his rookie contract yet. Stop it. I appreciate your services though.
And you know what? No. I want to get into this because Nelson Aguilar's failure also was a direct result of whatever was happening in Philadelphia. Because how does he go to Las Vegas the next year and become essentially an all-pro caliber player, right? In John Gruden's offense. So I'm sorry.
When it comes to the all-time gaffes at wide receiver, the Minnesota Vikings actually have I have a chip in the table here card. His name was Troy Williamson. Not only did he get drafted too high, they paid him $40 million to never do anything.
Come on, bro. Come on. Let's okay. Since you want to open this can of worms, that's fine. Nelson Aguilar got sent to Vegas because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, as it was shown the following year when he got to New England off of that contract that they gave him. He had his year in Vegas because there was no one trolling him through all 16 games or 17 games or whenever we started doing this 17-game thing. He had none of that to his disposal. Okay? No, I'm not leaving Nelson alone. Brock won't leave him alone, so I'm going to address it. I'm going to address it. He got to Vegas. Vegas gave him everything that he could ever ask for. And you know what the slogan is in Vegas? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. He had a great year in Vegas. Very great year in Vegas. But you want to know what happened?
So are you claiming his talent stayed in Vegas?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. He got to New England because New England was one of the very few teams at the time that got really desperate and wanted to bite. And they decided, you know what? Maybe paying Nelson Aguilar is not a bad idea. So let's invest in him. He gets to New England, and what happens? Whatever happened in Philly, just repeated itself all over again. And now, can anybody tell me what team he's on? Anybody? Huh?
Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore. Is he a focal point in that offense right now? No.
No wide receivers outside of Zay Flowers. No wide receiver has been a focal point in that offense since maybe Quadre Ishmael in like 2000. So no.
Christ.
No.
What?
All right.
You ignore the Steve Smith days?
Who?
Steve Smith Sr.? You're gonna ignore that? You
okay,
no?
Okay, yeah, no, Steve Smith was cold, but like let's not act like Steve Smith in Baltimore wasn't the same Steve Smith in Carolina, and that wasn't a skill issue.
No.
That was the fact that Baltimore, as a team that's passing the ball, has not really been a successful entity consistently throughout their entire time as an organization. All right, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Nelson. Nelson Aguilar again won Philadelphia a Super Bowl. That's the first part. The second part is you act like Nelson had this dramatic drop off after the Super Bowl while ignoring the fact that virtually everyone that was on the Eagles from a pass catching standpoint had a massive drop off after the Super Bowl. Was Alshon Jeffrey the same after the Super Bowl? No. Was Zach Ertz the same after the Super Bowl?
Season after that.
No.
He had another 1,000-yard season after that.
Was Brent Selling after the same? Was Brent Selling after the same after the Super Bowl? No, he retired.
No.
All right. So like, no, I'm sorry. Like there's a reason why Dougie P got shown the door. I get Aguilar had all those drop issues, but there had to have been something going on for him to immediately go out to Las Vegas and an offense built in 2002 and put up career highs. So, yeah.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Right?
Also, that banner behind you does not help. I just say that banner behind you doesn't happen without Nelson Aguilar. So I believe he deserves his flowers. But I agree, Howie has had some wild selections in recent years before, obviously. This past like 3-4 years, kind of maybe like 2-3 years, he's kind of calmed it down. But I'll just say, give the man his due credit because I see a lot of great receivers come to Philadelphia and they ain't want shit.
That's fine. I'm just when I'm talking about Nelson Aguilar, I'm not just talking about the performances that he gave us in its full totality. I was more so speaking about Howie choosing him at the pick that he decided to get him when there was other options available. Which was kind of like, okay, what the hell are we doing? But I don't have to say that anymore. Thanks, Howie. Appreciate you. Speaking of things that we appreciate, let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Phoenix Suns in that wonderful playoff series going on in the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would love to remind you that this Timberwolves team is up 2-0 on the Phoenix Suns. They play tonight, the last game of the night, actually, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN for those who are having their eyes on that one. I don't even know where to start. Anthony Edwards, one game. Jaden McDaniels, the next. Do we have the Timberwolves winning this series, A? And B, what the hell do we have going on in Phoenix, Brock? What's your thoughts, man?
So I have Minnesota win the series completely. I believe Minnesota is the 3 seed at the moment. Oh, sorry, yeah, the 3. So that matchup between them and Denver in the next round is going to be magical. This is a story when it comes to Phoenix of an owner that's was too gung-ho, too overzealous, and felt that he understood the modern way of building an NBA roster and completely blew up the success that Phoenix had initially. I mean, let's not forget the Suns for damn near a decade was ass. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, people were telling Devin Booker to leave because he was wasting his career in Phoenix. And then during the end of the Sarver ownership, they were able to get together. Monty Williams got the interim tag taken off after an incredible performance in the bubble where they went 8-0 despite having like a .0001 chance of getting into the playoffs, right? And then they go out and they bring in a true point guard like Chris Paul. They supplement them with legitimate talents. DeAndre Ayton was, not the Ayton we see now. And Mikal Bridges was like I'm so mad about Mikal Bridges for so many reasons because I feel like he's been screwed twice in his career. I thought he got screwed the first time on draft night. Philadelphia shouldn't have traded him away. And then obviously I don't think Phoenix should have traded him into the Nets after. And then you try to bring in a guy like Kevin Durant, it makes sense because, he's a true scorer and he's a superstar. And then you bring a guy like Bradley Beal, but over the years, and I just keep going back to my Houston Rockets when they were building their teams, and the phrase of "there's only one basketball" keeps popping up in my head. The ball just doesn't get moved enough. It just doesn't get put in the hoop enough, and it's not team basketball. and that's why they suffer when they go up against teams that play good team basketball. The Phoenix Suns are in a position in which they're not in a position to compete for the next 3-4 years at this point, because who do you bring in, and who can you even bring in to help remedy this situation? You have Denver playing incredible team basketball, Minnesota playing incredible team basketball. You have Oklahoma City playing incredible team basketball. You have teams in the West coming up like Houston. You have teams coming up like the Clippers, right? Especially when they move into their own arena. You have teams, like these teams, like Dallas, right? Like these teams are playing team basketball, and when they go up against the Suns, stylistically, the Suns are always the team that are mismatched. So I think I said it last year. Melo Williams, my boy, he can attest to it. And Matt Ishbia has come in not understanding how to build a team. And because he's the owner, he started calling his own shots, and those shots have missed. And now the Phoenix Suns fan base is, paying the price for it.
Jeez. Well, as much as we could trash the Suns on this one, Steve, I know you as a beloved Timberwolves fan. This is a long time coming for you. Share your thoughts, man, on what your thoughts have been on the series so far, and what you see the series going down is going forward. Oh, there you go. Is it going to work today?
You are muted, sir.
And
go for it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're good.
All right. Yeah, I'm struggling with connection issues, so I'm probably just gonna drop this take and get out of here. The Minnesota Timberwolves are on the ascension. They're on the rise. They are a team that really is getting after it, and they've got a young core in Anthony Edwards and McDaniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And then they've got, veterans like Gobert and Towns and Conley. It is literally the best combination coming together. And Chris Finch is one of the best coaches. If he doesn't win Coach of the Year, it's a crime. He took the team the last 3 consecutive years to play him the 3rd seed. They went from 42 wins last year to 56, second most in franchise history. He's got a guy who will just Man of the Year in Naz Reid. He's got a guy who's going to win Defensive Player of the Year in Rudy Gobert for his 4th time. Anthony Edwards should be in the conversation for MVP, if not Most Improved Player of the Year. It's full of award-winning talent over here. The Phoenix Suns are just being put to the ringer here with Minnesota's depth, and I think that's really the challenge here, is a full, complete, up-and-down team roster that has been built by Finch that's going to make the difference. Especially now with this Grayson Allen injury, I think it's going to be really hard for Phoenix to even get 1 win. I kind of thought they'd get at least 1 here in Phoenix, but now I'm kind of thinking they might not be able to keep up and have the firepower to outdo it without him. So I think if Minnesota gets the win tonight, we're looking at a sweep, and it's going to be Denver and Minnesota for an absolute slobber knocker 7-game series dragged all the way out. This is the 2 best teams in the West meeting before the finals, and it's going to look like a finals, and it's going to be fantastic. And I think I'm leaning towards Minnesota pulling out that 7-game victory. I think I'm leaning that way.
Okay. Cool. I like it, man. I like it,
yeah,
and rightfully so.
I have the series record for 5, if I'm being honest.
You said the series ending in 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Ishbia, by trying to bring in the superstars, he destroyed his bench. And I've said it time and time again, you can't win a championship without his bench, right? And we're seeing that right here, right now. So I think,
There you go.
That's basketball. Like basketball isn't meant for everyone is so obsessed with the 3 superstars, right? Like that's been the key for since 2008 with the Celtics. But people forget with Boston.
And it's preached across all sports that defense wins championships across every sport. Defense winning championships is more an apparent factor in basketball than all the other sports. Yes, defense does win championships, but that defense shows more as a reason and importance in NBA playoff times than any other playoff sport, period.
Yeah.
And Minnesota has the number one defense.
Yeah, you can manufacture scoring with the talent that's in the NBA because it's such a small league compared to everything else that you're having the cream of the crop in the NBA.
Right.
You can't manufacture effort, and you can't manufacture good defense because good defense requires effort, right? So again, to Steve's point, I think this series is done in like 5 at most, or they might sweep them. Who knows? But I think they at least take 1 in Phoenix, and it's gonna be a wrap real soon. And Denver and Minnesota are gonna have a nice, couple days off before they go to war.
Okay. So you have this ending in 5 or a sweep. Okay. I don't know what it is, man. I love what Minnesota's been able to do. This is a team that is the direct opposite of the Suns, which is why the series is the way that it is. Because I think we've said this when they initially traded for Kevin Durant last year, when they decided to go after Bradley Beal, that the one question that you were going to have to ask day in and day out was, what was the depth going to be? And outside of Grayson Allen, there isn't much there. Now he's hurt. So, you had the question about the depth, and then you also had the question about the injuries, which both has transpired throughout the entire season. I think talking about a way that this Suns team has been shooting itself in the foot, it doesn't get much more clearer than this, especially with a Timberwolves team who, from top to bottom, they may not have the roster that, say, Denver Nuggets does, where everybody fits their role to the exact T. But if you need a guy for that specific situation, they got people for that. Now, in terms of them actually finding a way to execute that, is something totally different. But when you have a tier 1 guy in Anthony Edwards, when you have a Robin and Karl Anthony Towns, when you have a potential defensive player of the year winner in Rudy Gobert, when you have Naz Reid coming off the bench, when you have the veteran presence of a Mike Conley, when you have the defense of Jaden McDaniels and the hustle that he brings when he's on the floor, when you start listing these names, it's not so much that we're talking a lot about talent, although the talent is there for each guy that I just mentioned. This is a team that has depth. And when you have a team that has depth, when Anthony Edwards needs to have a seat for a few moments, he can actually take that breather and doesn't have to worry about coming back into the game and they're down by 10, even though they were up by 15 when he left. We don't have to worry about that. And I think it's really apparent in this series alone. I agree. I think it might be over in 5 as well. It might go 1-1 just to try to scare people, but I think they finish it off in Minnesota just off of some poetic stuff. I don't know. It just seems too lean cuisine to sweep the Suns right now. Now maybe, after tonight's game, if I just see a Suns team that just looks like they're just not built to win, and they don't win tonight's game, then forget about it. This is a sweep. But I think at the very least, this gets to 5. At the most, this gets to 5. So shout out to the Timberwolves for, doing their thing, man. And by the way, Nuggets and Timberwolves don't sound too bad, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I think that's gonna be the series of the playoffs, if you ask me. If it goes to that, like,
Man.
I mean, who else is better equipped to stop Jokic than having essentially 3 towers, right? Cat,
Right.
Gobert and Nasri. Like,
come on.
It's gonna be must-watch TV. And before we move on, I just want to say, like, the problem with the Suns is they don't have the glue guy. Every good team has the glue guy, right? The guy that facilitates things, keeps everyone together. We can say that's KCP on the Nuggets. You can say that maybe Conley on the T-Wolves. You can say you can point out every glue guy in NBA championship history. Like Udonis Haslem has been the glue guy for Miami. Well, not this year, of course, but have been the glue guy for Miami for damn near 2 decades. Like until you have that glue guy, you just shut out of luck pretty much.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That goes back to what everybody's been talking about when they made these huge acquisitions. It wasn't that we didn't think it would work. It was just the ultimate question of how do you supplement the rest of the roster, because you don't have any now that you have Beal, Booker, and Durant in your starting 5. And if you're not going to supplement it, it will show. And it's shown. Now, let me also say this. If this was a starting 5, if this was a Suns team that was healthy, like if they defied the odds as far as health was concerned throughout the year, then that's one thing. I think that we do have a different I do think that we'll be sharing a different story if they were healthy throughout the season. But Booker's been out. Beal's been out. The one person, shockingly, that hasn't been out of everybody, who's the oldest out of everybody, is Kevin Durant. Shout out to Kevin Durant, dog. What the hell? I just thought about that. So the fact that the healthiest person on your roster this year was Kevin Durant tells me all that I need to know. Like I said, it would not surprise me if they even get this game tonight, or they try to try to pull something off for game 4. But I do think that this series, whether people want to believe it or not, it's over in 5, and that's totally fine. I think the Suns probably need it more than anything else, because I don't know how many times we have franchises that keep holding on to certain timelines because of how a certain playoff series went, instead of just making a direction that's beneficial for the team, for the franchise going forward. So maybe them being one and done, if that causes for them to blow it up, go ahead. But they need to figure out where their direction is, because they tried to go to win now mode. They tried to do the win now thing, not working. They did the patience thing with Booker before everybody got here. That's not working. So they need to figure out something for the future, going forward. And I think this series will definitely do that for them. But I don't know what it is, man. I feel like every single episode we have done on this show, we have not gotten away from any sort of love relation whatsoever. And we are diving into something that I am very interested how we're going to go through this, because we're going to talk about the annoyances that come with weddings. What drives us crazy in terms of planning weddings, the aspect of the wedding being put in place, what bothers us the most. So, Brock, I know this has been your calling card for like the past 3 days, because you brought it to my attention. Where would you like to go with this one, man?
weddings used to be great, and now I feel like kind of blow ass. You know, I feel like instead of like having a fun time, it's always like a pissing contest, and I hate it. I'm actually a big proponent of just eloping because then you actually have a fun time again. Like, you know how many weddings I've been to in the past where I had such a good time because there's good food, good music, good people. Now it just feels like extravagant, over the top. There's not any substance really to it, and it really comes down to the food. Honestly, like I feel like the food has gotten like really shitty over the past like 3 years. Like, I'm sorry, I feel like it's too food, too like high class, too like not tasty. Like it feels like when you go over to like great granny's house and great granny like couldn't cook for shit, but she somehow made everything, and like she's old and also couldn't cook for shit. So you're just having like half made, unseasoned doo for food. And it just doesn't make me feel good. I don't want to go to a wedding and have to stop at McDonald's before I go home. I don't want to go to a wedding and be like, what the fuck is this? I don't want to give a card with money in it and then feel like I need to go into the box and pull my card out because I'm gonna need to take that money to go get myself a proper meal. Like I'm sorry, I feel like in the maybe it's just my person. I'm growing older, but in recent times, I feel like weddings have become more about what we can post about on Instagram instead of what we can actually enjoy doing. And maybe because I enjoy eating food because food is just fantastic. That I'm like, stop serving shitty shit, man. Like fuck. Like why the fuck do I want to eat a deviled egg at a wedding?
You don't like deviled eggs, dog?
You know?
No deviled eggs?
Like there's also a difference. I personally don't, but like I use it as an example because like there's versions of deviled eggs that are like delicious, and like them shits I saw was not, you know, like I had some hors d'oeuvres. I'm like, why the fuck am I eating prosciutto attached to a little melon on a stick? Like, god damn it, what is this? Also, I'm sorry if you're gonna have a bar, like and it's a cash bar. Like just don't have a bar, you know. Like I'm not saying it has to be an open bar, but like if you can't give out a complimentary drink, like one drink ticket. I know that sounds privileged, but I'm gonna say it. If you can't give out one drink ticket, maybe this should be a dry wedding. Like this is not a fucking concert. Like I'm not watching Nickelback play. I'm here to watch you and your shitty ass husband you're gonna divorce in 2 years. Like say some dumbass vows you're not gonna follow. Like give me free liquor. I'm sorry. Like
oh, Brock, what?
Listen, in this country, divorce rates are rising, and if I had to like endure what the fuck that was, all right, I deserve a drink on the house. I'm not saying you have to comp everything. I'm saying I should get at least one. Like, wait, how am I gonna toast if I gotta buy my drink? Like, I'm gonna toast you with a cup of water, like the little plastic cup you get on the airplane. I'm gonna have that with a little ice, water that probably tastes like trash because I got it from the tap, and I'm going to throw it out and I'm going home. Like, okay, I take that back. It's not really weddings that piss me off. It's receptions.
Okay. It's receptions.
Like
interesting.
Yeah, like shout out to my cousin Kara, because my cousin Kara had a killer reception, bro. Like, okay, so imagine like Hawaii on this like farm, like plantation style, but like not an actual plantation for all the people that's about to get mad at me. It's like plantation style, not a real plantation. Okay, so just I don't want to cancel, but in this nice little field, she had like this big ass white tent and all the people in the middle, and it was like surrounded on three sides by like food. It was like a buffet, and then the front was the stage, right? And like it was like super cool because she had like a sushi bar. She was had like dudes making hand rolls, and she had like a cooked pig, and then she had like a meat station, and then she also sides and she like it was like the best, right? And I go to weddings where it's like this fucking dry ass pork ass bullshit with fucking collard greens that have no seasoning, and like rice that tastes like ass, and that didn't have enough water when it cooked. And I'm like, why am I here? Why am I eating this? Like, also, why is there no salt and pepper? Like there's no nothing. I can't even try to fix at the table because there's nothing. So you just gotta eat a little bit and just take liquids and just hopefully that rehydrates it to the point where it's digestible. And now I want to throw a plate at somebody. You know, do I want to get on the dance floor in this situation? No. Do I want to see you dance your husband for the first time? No. I want to throw this plate at somebody's head because this shit was ass. Like, who approved this? I'm sorry. Maybe again privileged, right? But maybe it's because I was able to go to such fantastic parties and receptions growing up that I have a high standard. And to me, if you're just gonna put some bullshit on there, just elope. Just elope. Just elope. Save yourself some money. Save me time. All right. I'm not gonna be butthurt. All right. If someone gets butthurt because they're not invited to your wedding because you decide to elope, they're not your friend. They're not your family. They're a greedy fuck. All right. And just leave them at home. Okay. First of all, if you are bitching about not getting invited somewhere and you don't invite that person to anything, it's you. You're the problem. All right. Like, I've never had a problem not getting invited to anywhere because I don't invite no one to anything. You know? So that's all good with me. All good with me. You know? But
that's true.
Like
that's
if you
true.
Think, when I get married, right? If you think I'm gonna invite you after you never invite me to shit, you out your ass. All right. And my reception is gonna be killer because I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not gonna like say all this shit right now and say my wedding's gonna be trapped. My wedding's gonna be loaded with food and free liquor. All right. And Thomas, you got an invite, so feel free to come down anytime. All right. But, yeah. Yeah, and you know, actually, part of my grievance is, why am I going to a wedding when I know that shit's not gonna last? Like people act like I don't know you. Like, oh, we're so in love. I know what to do is boning 2 other chicks like last week. Like, let's not take the piss here, you know. Like, oh, we're gonna be in love forever.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in love forever. He don't even love you now. Like, he's doing it just cause, you know. Like, goddamn. Talking about stuff like that, like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go on a tangent here, and that's comes from stories from my life. Ladies, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. There's some dudes out there, loud dudes, they're fucking garbage. All right.
Yeah.
And you really gotta pick and choose them, and you cannot ignore the red flags because they're always there. They're always there. For example, right? There's this. I don't know her. This is a side story. There's this lady who was married to her husband. She was currently in labor in another state while the husband was out on a work trip. Do you know what the husband was doing? Getting a 1 hour VIP room inside the strip club while she's in labor.
That's insane. I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised. I don't think this behavior developed overnight. And remember, not only are you attached to this person for the rest of your life because of now this child, but that's this child's parents. So they gotta deal with all that bullshit from the jump. You know? So in conclusion, you can avoid all this by picking right people and eloping. And because I don't want to see a shitty marriage happen. I don't want to eat your shitty food, and I want liquor. And if you can't provide, like, I'm not spending $10 on a beer. I'm sorry. All right.
Nah,
I think I went to a wedding one time where I wanted rum and coke, a double, and all. I was like, huh? And so I had one drink and I called an Uber and went home. Like, why? Like, it's not trying to gouge me because you did not foresee your expenses. And I know all people are going to be like, yeah, Brock, well, you're being selfish. You know, it's not about you. Like, they're not going to have an open bar in every way. I'm not asking for an open bar. I'm asking for a reasonable price. People are like, oh, we have to pay for the wedding. I have to pay for my transportation. I have to pay for my outfit. All right, I'm not spending $18 a pop, all right, to make this shit tolerable. Okay? And that's why I'm a big believer in sending the card. All right, you got a wedding invitation, just write a card, put a little money, sit on the way, and just keep it pushing. And you know what? It's the best part is I've never had anybody come up to me, oh, you never came to my wedding. Nope. They're all so cool. And I'm not irritated. They're not irritated. They're probably going to get divorced anyway. And I keep it pushing. So, in conclusion, stop throwing shitty weddings. That is my grievance for the day.
I don't think y'all understand. For those who are watching this, and shout out to everybody that's been watching this up to this point, I don't think y'all understand how much this man right here goes out of his way every single time. Every time we have an episode on this show, he finds a way to say something that I know he's been sitting on for
years.
Years. I just know it.
You know,
oh my God.
You know what's the worst part, bro? It's not about the quantity of how many people we can have there or how many things we can have. It's about the quality. I've been to weddings in people's parents' backyard. Phenomenal. They designed the backyard beautifully. The food was cooked by the family, and it was hot, delicious, well seasoned in big portions. All right. The liquor was just bought from the liquor store, so it was like free reign, and we had a blast. Our music was bumping all night. And you know who was bitching about it? No, because neighbors were all invited too, so they were there partying, right? And that was like some of the best times I had. But I've been to weddings where like there's like balls and shit, and I'm like, fucking again, prosciutto with a melon. Why the fuck are we eating fruit and meat? Like why do we as humans put cold cuts and sweet together? All right, this shit is not the move. Not the move. That's not. Like, there's something that go good with meat and sweet, but the melon is not the move. Right? I don't even remember what kind of. It was like a little tangerine. Why is a little prosciutto and a little tangerine getting served on a tray? All right. What? Where's the brisket?
Are you serious? You're not trolling me right now, are you? You're being so serious. This actually happened before.
I shit you not. I shit you not. I ate it one time. I spit it out, and then I grabbed another one. I put the melon off, and then I ate the prosciutto.
Oh my God. Okay. Well. Wow.
Listen, if I'm pulling up to the bar and there's like a menu with prices, and then those prices go beyond $10, I'm leaving.
I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You know what? Because that's my thing. I think people, for whatever reason, have this idea that weddings have no budget. I don't understand how we get to that point, because like I am aware that this is the biggest moment of your life, of your lives, and you want to make it as grand as possible. You want to make it as big as you possibly can, and I get all that. I really do. But if you can do it, do it. If you can't, don't. I feel like that is the common theme with like literally, like I don't know what other way I could say it. Like, oh, apparently you're in the witness protection program too. Good for you. Well done, sir.
Oh shit! Oh, that isn't that bad. Damn. My bad.
No, but
yeah,
no,
but honestly, I might have to be pissed. I'm pissing off a lot of brides right now. But I'm sorry, if your wedding is built for Instagram and not built for a celebration, this shit is in the toilet. All right. Also, if you have a destination wedding, you're an asshole.
Destination wedding.
If you have, first of all, like for example, if we all in like Nevada, right? And like your whole family is like in Nevada, California, and let's say Wisconsin. You get married in Nashville, you a dick. Right? Like if you are eloping, sure, that's all good. If you're sending out 200 invites to Nashville, you a dick. Right? Especially, why are we getting married at the beach? All right? What the fuck do you want me to wear pants on sand? Right?
This is a good one.
Yes. Damn right.
This
Damn
is very
right.
fair.
Exactly.
That's very
if
fair.
You have a destination
Absolutely.
You shouldn't. I want to go further on boxes 713. If you have a destination wedding, you shouldn't expect people to come. All right. Why I gotta take time off work? Why I gotta pay for? Like, if you pay for my airfare, that's different. That's way different. Right?
Exactly.
But exactly. I gotta pay for my own airfare, and I gotta take time off. Buy days for you? No. I'm not even saying money. I'm just saying a card. It's actually the RSVP because this is no.
That just says no.
Yeah. I while we're at it, all right.
Yeah.
People need to like have good MCs at their wedding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Invest the money, bro.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-mm. If you don't have a good MC, bro, just stop. Just stop what you're doing. Just go home, dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, again, not trying to be a dick, but like if you're, and we all have our preferences. So it's not like this is just a personal quirk of mine. If you have a wedding that not only allows children, but like has invited a lot of children, you should hire either a security staff or not have a bar, because parents are irresponsible. All right, and if I accidentally hit your kid and they start crying and you get mad at me, I'm gonna kick you right in the knee, in the cap, in the fucking cap. Because why aren't you watching your child, you shithead? All right, this is not a playground. This is a goddamn wedding. Watch your children. All right, that's why I get actually be child free for sure. If somebody says, "Oh, I can't come because of my child," I'm gonna say, "No worries, have a good one." All right. But,
yeah.
Also, and if it's a child-free wedding and you bring a child, you a douche, all right? And you deserve to get kicked in the ovaries. You deserve to have a muzzle stomped in you.
Now,
honestly,
I was just getting ready to ask this now.
Perfect. And that's perfect. Listen, if you have kids at a bar and you set up a playground with supervision, or like a daycare or something, then you are like God's greatest soldier.
Yeah.
Because that means you took time to consider, you took time to evaluate, and you took time to make it happen. Probably means the rest of the wedding is going to be phenomenal, right? Because you checked off every aspect of everything. But if you say like it's going to be bad. It's going to be not happening.
Yeah.
To me, and also, all weddings should either be within a 15-minute drive to a local hospital or have EMS on standby, because people get rowdy, get rude. Old people start acting like they're 25, all right, and people start going down like crazy. So I think if you have emergency staff in the general vicinity, you're setting yourself up for a bad time. Also. Okay, if you know that majority of the family has drinking problems and have anger issues, why are we having bars? All right, not everyone. It's just for a reason. Right? Oh, I don't know why Uncle Dick fought with Uncle Tommy. It's because they're raising alcoholics with issues from their father. Like, again, know your audience. I feel like a lot of times people don't know their audience, people don't consider their audience, and people think that this is gonna look on social media. And that's why we get shit food. All right.
Right.
Do you want dried pork for dinner?
Excuse me?
Do you want dried pork for dinner? Do you want chicken with no seasoning?
Fuck no.
Fuck no.
I could tell you that. Hell nah.
Yeah. Hell no. That's right.
Mm-mm.
That's why. If you don't got the fun, don't worry. Elope. So much better. I was like, well,
Yeah.
I want my great nana. Great nana don't remember shit on Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's is crazy, dog. Oh my god.
You like great nana. I'm so glad you made it. And she gonna be who you.
Bro, you ain't wrong, bro. I swear, dog, there hasn't been a single lie detected in anything that we've said thus far. I just need people to understand. Go ahead, Brock.
Old works.
One more time.
Old people are dicks. All right.
Okay.
You think Sweet Nana? You think Sweet Nana is gonna? Sweet Nana had a filter for the past 70 years, and it just left. All right, she's gonna let you know. All right, sweet little Nana grew up back in the day when shit was going down. All right, Sweet Nana don't give a damn. All right, Sweet Nana might be racist. You don't know. All right. But I didn't know Sweet Nana was like that. Sweet Nana was 25 in 1960. All right.
Right.
She was in the civil rights movement on the wrong side.
On the wrong side. What the fuck, Brock? Oh shit!
I'm just saying. I'm just like, you know those pictures of the Freedom Riders coming down, right? And how they fought for our rights. They fought valiantly until you see that little woman in the back and shit. That was Sweet Nana.
Oh man.
Yeah, Sweet Nana had an arm. Sweet Nana was Randy Johnson down the pipe with a can. You know, like an aluminum can was like, throwing 95.
This is terrible, dog. Not too much on Sweet Ann, man. It's just not sweet. It's just not sweet right now.
No, Sweet Nana going down to the bottom floor in the afterlife. Well, Sweet Nana maybe package growing up. Sweet Nana station. All right, and yet we invited her to the wedding. Like, come on now.
Womp womp. Womp womp.
You know, talking about that. I'm gonna go on another tangent.
Okay.
So my day job is a cab driver, right?
Okay.
Pick up pleasant conversations with the majority of my customers. So I remember one night I picked up this really old lady, right? Mm-hmm. And we were just talking about life, just talking about life back in the day. And I pulled up to her house and she's like, "Yeah, I love where I live. Unfortunately, I live next to some dirty," and then she drops the N word with a hard R. I was like, "Jerry, what the fuck?" Like in my job, the amount of times I've heard old people just randomly drop the N word, the N bomb with a hard R was just astonishing. Like, what do you even say? Like if you beat Nana's ass, you go to jail. All right, even though she was wrong. Like stop inviting old people to shit. Especially weddings. Also, why are people having weddings on legitimate Southern? I see some bad pictures, some bad ones. All right, you think I'm going to that? No. All right. First of all, why would I want to travel to Charleston, South Carolina, for a wedding? That's a long flight. For this to be canceled 2 years later. Come on now.
Good point.
More importantly, and here's the crucial part. Why are people getting married in churches?
Why aren't they?
Why are they? They lived a godly day in their entire life.
Oh man. They're trying to do it the right way, Brock.
You can't be good for one day and call it good.
And call it good. I'm just crazy.
I'm just saying, like the Lord is looking down on you with blessings. The Lord's shaking his head. The Lord is going, Now I see what y'all did for the past several years. She's a scammer. You a criminal.
She's a scammer. Oh, no.
Like I'm just saying, I see some stuff. Like sometimes the bride be trying to sell you Herbalife, and the guy be using her pro.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro.
And yet they're getting married, and somehow I have to attend. No. Yo, Brock, I feel like this is like the therapy session that you never had. And so you waited until this show turned up to take up on this opportunity. And I love you for that. But God damn, I did not think that you had this much beef with weddings in my life. What a maybe it's not wedding. Maybe it's hypocrisy.
It's the reception. My bad. It's the reception you're referring to.
No, honestly, sometimes it's the wedding.
Okay.
Like sometimes I question, like, why is a dude dressed like Elvis marrying the two people in front of me?
I'll be asking that same question, bro.
Like,
what are we doing?
what's going on here?
What are we doing? The sad part is that I know like what people's are like what they're trying to do. I think that's the sad part. Like it's not one of those things where it's unique and it's different. And it hasn't been like I haven't seen it before, and it's like, oh, okay, like this is all right. This is interesting. It's one of those like I know in my mind exactly what you're trying to go for. I know the exact idea you're going for, and you failed. So now that makes it even worse.
It does. While I'm on the topic, when did Best Man and Maid of Honor speeches become the comedy hour? All right. I think a lot of people got to realize
they're not even funny.
Be funny. Your jokes are shitty and just brought the whole room down. No. Kyle Brandt of NFL Network said it one time, and I agree with him. It's not speech. It's a toast, right? You say, congratulations. You say one tastefully funny comment that everyone understands about them, the couple personally. Okay? You talk about one very sweet story about their love, and then you wish them well, and it should all be wrapped up within like 5 minutes. Okay? That's how you do it.
Tops.
I think it's a roasting section. No, not everyone just hates you and thinks you're a dick. Also, stop trying to sleep with bridesmaids. Stop it. Okay, I'm just saying, if it happens, it happens. But stop trying to. All right, you ain't that guy. You ain't that guy. Like you know, like, I don't go after bridesmaids because I ain't that guy. I know that. But you know what I do? I have a good time. Try to.
Right.
I introduce myself to many people. I see old faces. I keep it pushing. All right.
Right.
And you know what happens? Everyone remembers me as the guy that was there, and not the guy that fucked this shit up.
For everyone else. Yes.
Everyone else. Nobody likes that guy. Nobody.
No. And I appreciate that. Yeah.
Also, weddings unless gala. This is not the time to make bold fashion choice. This is a time to be actually very conservative with a little bit of swagger. A little bit.
All right? Yes. A little bit. Like
just suits.
Just a little bit. And I say a little bit because I know from my wedding, like, I ain't gonna lie, I might this sounds cheesy as fuck, by the way, but damn it, I don't care. It seems cool seeing other people do it. I wouldn't mind doing it myself because it is A, funny, and B, if you know about it, it's even more funnier, and C, it's just something that I gotta try. It's just something I gotta do. I've got to walk out in some sort of entrance theme. Like I gotta come out with the goon squad. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I come out with like the shield, like we have like some type of stairs or something, and we're coming down the ramp. I don't know. But if I have some type of entrance like that, I don't know why this sounds cheesy as fuck, but I would be so totally down for that. It's small as hell. It's gonna last like not even a minute. Just make it grand. I get down the aisle. Everybody's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. That's the point. And those that know are going to be screaming their asses off. And I love it.
But you brought up a very good point in that, is that if you're the groom and that's your groomsmen, that's acceptable. You know?
Yes.
If you were, like know your role, right?
Know your role. Thank you.
If you're a male guest, you should, all right, you wear shoes, all right, and you dress for basketball or something, but honestly, like find something that matches and like also colors that match everything that's going on. You are limited to 4 pieces of jewelry. A ring if you're married, a single chain, okay.
Yes.
Yep. A watch.
Yes.
And like earrings. That's nothing else. No 2 chains, no 3 chains. No 2. First of all, why are people going watch on both hands? Like I've seen that a couple times, and I'm just confused. Like you got 1 watch on though, right? Or you got 2?
That's 1. I got my 1.
One. Unless you're a general in the military, or you need to know like multiple times different places. 1 watch. Okay. 1.
That's crazy. Why do you need 2 watches, bro? I'm sorry. I need to understand the purpose of that. That's just crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
If you're a woman, primary colors. All right.
Yes.
Nothing unless it's within the theme should be lime green.
Ooh, that might be. Yeah, I'm about to say none should be anywhere lighter than that. I hope.
Like the only light colors I think are acceptable are like lavender.
Yeah.
Because any variant of purple looks regal and looks sleek. What the rock?
I would do that. I would probably do that.
If you're the groom, let it rock. If you're the groom, let it rock.
But I got to do it by myself though, because Rock does it by himself.
Facts.
That's the shitty part.
Unless you want to come out as like the bloodline, or if you want to like throw it back, Nation of Domination or something like that.
Yeah. Like I'll probably do something like that. But if anything, if I am going to do bloodline, it got to be Roman. It's Roman or bust. Sorry.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
But no, like anything bright, anything super bright, bro. Like it's destined for failure. I'm sorry. Like I don't know. Yeah. If we keeping things light over here, and by light I mean very, very basic, let's not do too much. I understand you being the female, you want to have that outlandish ass color. I get it. You want to set yourself apart. I get all that. I really do. But to a very certain extent, please. Jesus Christ.
No.
That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like this is, like you said earlier, like this is not the Met Gala. Like y'all, like I've seen weddings. I've seen like constant weddings on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, where like the bride is showing up with the feathers on the heels, the wing, the one wing on the shoulder. I'm like, what is this, Cody Rhodes?
Why you wing? If you could fly away, you probably shouldn't be getting married today.
Thank you. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. If that's really what we're doing, then this probably shouldn't be going on. This
No.
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 And I would understand it 1,000%. So moral of the story is, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are gonna do weddings, by the way, Brock, I'm looking forward to that wedding because by the way, the fact that these are the standards that you're setting, and by the way, these are very legitimate standards. I don't think you're asking for too much in this regard. I think it's legitimately so, might I add. Yeah. I can't wait to be there because I know I'm gonna enjoy some food, and I know I'm having the time of my life, and I'm all for having the time of my life. I'm very excited for that, and hopefully I'll do the same thing in my regard too. And by the way, since we're doing invites these days, you're invited too, my friend. You are invited too.
I appreciate that, bro. And the last thing I want to say before we move on is like, there's one word you need to emphasize at your wedding: sleek. Sleek. All right. That's be sleek.
Okay. Why that word in particular though? Real fast.
Because sleek encompasses everything about a wedding shape. It should be cordial. It should be beautiful. It should have the reverence a ceremony of that nature deserves. You are committing yourself to another person for the rest of your life, through good times and bad, and for no reason during this entire ceremony, you should see a goddamn wing. There's no reason why you should be looking like a strawberry Rita can from Bud Light.
From Bud Light. Dead ass, dog. Yes, I agree. Oh shit. Oh, that just shouldn't be a thing. I fucking agree. Damn. I'm sorry.
On a beach, I ain't coming.
You're not going to one on the beach? Why?
I'm not going barefoot in a fucking like pants and a dress shirt. You're out your ass. You are out your ass. And then I gotta walk back to the car after. So do I gotta bring slippers with me? Because slippers and dress pants don't match. They gotta bring dress shoes. I don't play sand in dress shoes. You out your ass.
Good point, bro.
Yeah. Shit. You got me messed up.
Shit. I'm not even a fan of sand. I'm usually not a great fan of sand myself in general. So to have to be in that, given how long we're gonna be there for, fuck no.
There's also no parking at beaches. First of all, if I have to find street parking, I'm definitely not. I'll roll up and then roll away. If there's not a sign parking, I mean, I'm grabbing Popeyes and I'm watching Netflix.
Dead ass. I agree. Parking should not be challenging with something that's already going to be complicated of an event as a wedding, as a reception. I mean, like it just shouldn't. Like nope. If anything else gets complicated during that time, it's not happening, bro. Nah, can't do it.
Well,
no.
It's a beautiful Hawaii. It's starting to rain, so I have to move.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Uh-oh.
Oopsies. That would be something that would happen in Hawaii.
Yeah, right. That's why we have such luscious green land.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Before we get out of here,
shit, bro.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said, yeah. No, this has been a great episode. I had a great time.
This shit is hilarious. As always, by the way, I don't think we've ever had a dull moment. We haven't had a dull moment on this show yet. That's our problem. Anyways,
no,
before we get out of here, I want to ask the chat this. and I'm asking you on this one, Brock. At what moment or age does your birthday become just another day on the calendar?
21. As soon as you pass 21, no one gives a fuck.
21 is it? Okay.
21 is a big dash because you can drink legally, you can smoke legally, you can gamble legally. After that, no one cares. You might just call it a day. All right. I had three goals in life. All right. Don't die before I'm 21. Don't die as a virgin. And I graduate high school. Did all three, so I'm good to go.
Hey! Stupid. Okay, so Brock is 21. I'm curious what the chat is thinking on here. What age or moment for y'all is the moment where y'all like, okay, this birthday is just another day for me. I'm curious what y'all think.
I'm just saying, like now for my birthday, as long as my girl wishing me happy birthday, as long as my parents wishing me happy birthday, as long as my brother wishing me happy birthday, that's all I care about. Get those 4 happy birthdays, I'm good to go. I'm ready to roll to next year.
Okay.
That's hey, brother. I gotta take the exit today. It's been a lot of fun. I'm gonna let you finish up while I have to go pick everything up outside and take that inside before it starts dumping.
Go for it, man. Shout out to Brock on the show, man. Appreciate you.
Sir, appreciate everyone for watching. I'll catch y'all next week. Again, 10 a.m. West Coast time, 1 p.m. East Coast time. On Dome. We keep it coming. All right. See you guys later.
For sure. All right. Yeah, so I'm curious to know from y'all, what is the age or the moment where y'all are like, you know what, this is just another birthday for me. For me in particular, and I've had conversations with others about this in the past. I think that moment would probably be like when I have kids. I think once I have kids, I've realized that, like, I mean, I could still enjoy my birthday. There's still probably a whole lot of things that I could do, but it just ain't the same no more. It ain't the same no more. Like, in terms of the options that you would like to get into, like you would love to, just fly yourself out somewhere, just, hey, this is a getaway for your birthday. Congratulations, you made it another year. That's all it's going to be. But like, what is that? I don't know. I don't know. I think for me, it would have to be when I have, for me personally, it would be when I have kids, that it would be like, okay, all right, this just ain't the same, man. This just ain't the same. But you know what? I can also say that in recent years, like it hasn't really been the same for me, which is why this year it's got to be very different. And if y'all missed it on last week's show, where I talked about why it needs to be that grand. Yeah, I missed out. Y'all need to go look out on last week's episode. But anyways, yeah, man, like this year's birthday needs to be a very big deal for me. Because it's just got to be something that I'll just like never forget, like forever, ever. And I'm talking about the actual day of my birthday. And so because I mean, let me see. I'm trying to think. Last year I anticipated going to Cancun. Didn't happen. The year before that, what was supposed to happen with that? I was planning on trying to go out of town. for my birthday. That didn't happen either. Did I end up working that day? No, I didn't end up working that day. The year before I worked on my birthday. That was dumb. I'm pretty sure y'all already know this, but for those of you that don't, please don't work on your birthday. That is a cardinal sin. Don't do that to yourself. I did it one time, never again. So I mean, the track record as of late hasn't been the greatest as far as like my actual birthday is concerned, but we're hoping to really change that this year. We're hoping to really change that this year. So I know for me it would probably be when I start having kids that it would be like, like my birthday is no longer like as grand or as big as I would like to make it out to be. Because it's not about me anymore. That's just the nature of it all. Like your mentality shifts. Like the whole thing's different. Like you basically have a family at this point. What are we doing? So, but I'm curious to let you to see what y'all think, what y'all moments are, what y'all ages are when y'all just think that, you know what, man, my birthday is just another day on the calendar, man. And it's cool. It's cool. Well, on that note, man, shout out to everybody that's been watching this. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. We definitely have had a blast like we always do on this show. Shout out to our special guest, Steve Rogers, for joining the show, man. It was a lot of fun. And we have yet another special guest joining the show next week. So I'm very excited for that. Me personally, in more ways than one. And it just keeps on coming, man. So like, share, subscribe, and follow us on our platforms. And before we get out of here, we got some lovely commercials with your name on it.
Streetwear is not dead. The next wave of black fashion comes out of the Bronx, New York. Rich Kid Clothing, picking up where FUBU, Rockaware, and Kyle Kanai left off. Rich Kid is for the next generation of Get Fly fashion heads. Use promo code MELLOW23 for 15% off your next order. And for orders over $100, there is free shipping. Again, use promo code MELLOW23 for 15% off your next order.
In 2006, we founded Yeti Coolers with a simple mission: build the cooler we use every day if it existed. One that was built for the serious outdoor enthusiasts rather than for mass discount retailers. One that could take the abuse we knew we'd put it through, out in the field and on the water. One that simply wouldn't break. We decided early on that production innovation would come from necessity and first-hand experience, not from market research and data analysis. Today, Yeti products perform when it matters most. Whether that be an excursion into the remote Alaskan wilderness, chasing redfish on the Gold Coast, or just getting together with friends in the backyard, we make gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder. # built for the wild.
Well, again, this concludes the episode of the Off the Dome show. Shout out to everybody that's watched up to this very point. Like, share, subscribe, follow Team MBS Media on all social platforms. Follow at TOTD Show on all platforms. We put out all of our content on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. So give us a follow, give us a like. We appreciate y'all. This is my IG at the bottom of the screen as well. If y'all would like to follow me, and hit me up on any and everything. You name it. I have no problem talking about it. Thank y'all so much. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank y'all.